It is Tuesday, right? It is too. It is a Tuesday. It's terrific Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Tuesday. I hope you guys have done all the things that you needed to do. And welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Nikki Damquitz, and I'm known as the Sassy Summer here in this neck of the woods. So if you caught my live earlier this morning, I had this really weird, winded, lots of advice thrown in there live in the group. Make sure you guys go back and watch the rewind of that. I always give out some juicy nuggets. And one of the nuggets I gave out today was something I was going to work on. I honestly derailed about 47 times today trying to get this done. So I want to show you what I did before we jump into the real reason why we're here. So this morning I talked about how I was going to be making a flyer for real estate agents for me to give out to my locals, to mail them out, whatever it is. And then I'm going to be posting it to my group. But I want to show you what I have. So here it is. It says, saying thank you just got easier with lpbsdesigns.com. Has my website. If you flip it over, talks about some other goodies I could offer them. The QR code to the website. You open up the full, that's right. These are just some of the goodies that I'll be able to offer my clients. I give a little bit of an overview, what they are. I don't go into too much detail about it because you know what? I want them to go to the website to be able to find out. But really what's going to grab their attention is the cost. Okay, that's going to drag them in and say, you know what? Okay, that's in my price point. They have some things in my price point, whatever it may be. I don't give full details until you go to the website. Now on the back page, what I did decide to use right here is the frequently asked questions. This way, you know what? I can kind of already beat them to the punch for some things. So this is the brochure that I made for my locals with the house on the front. Not too shabby. I needed to print one for myself to see how it works. And you know what? It came out pretty darn cool. All right, enough about that. The real reason why we're here, we are here for Driven by Graphic Supply Co. You guys know him, the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. Marvin has gotten not one, not two, but 3 new pillowcases. He got in the linen 12 by 18, which we're going to press 2 different designs on one pillow today. And then I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie. That's right. I'm bringing back a design that I literally made the year I started designing. It's an oldie, it's a goodie, but it's just in time for the holiday season. So make sure you guys go find that at the sassysummer.etsy.com and go head over there and you will find out. But let's get over to the heat press, shall we? Let me say hello to everybody in the comment section. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Here we go. Let's do this. Get this over here. Give me 1 second, please. Change. Whoops, wrong camera. It always happens that way, right? It's always the camera that you don't want. But I want that one. So let's do it. Okay. We are going to, that looks good. Well, yeah. All right. Don't mind the name being there. I don't know how to drag my own name down so that you don't have it there, but it's there. It's what it is. There's nothing I can do about it at the moment. So let's talk about the things that are all things Marvin. Please make sure you guys say hello to the comment section with Miss Patty, who is behind the helm today. She will be in the back office. If you have any questions or if you hear the voice from beyond, that is going to be Miss Patricia. She will be behind there answering all the questions that you will be asking, those deep burning ones, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's turn this down. Get the live video. There we go. All right. First things first, let's talk about the one we're going to do the double-sided one on. So this is the faux linen. Let me get to the bigger camera. Hold on, please. There we go. Make sure it's on the right one. There we go. Why is that on still? Is that on the right one? Okay, perfect. Okay. So this is the faux linen pillowcase. Now it does feel a little bit thicker than his other ones. I wouldn't say it's as soft, but it is pretty darn close. I think that his other ones, the 16 by 16s, are a little bit softer. This is going to be definitely a great lumbar pillow, if you will. So there is that. Let me move the camera just ever so slightly. There we go. So this is a great lumbar pillow at a 12 by 18. Now we're going to pre-press this. We're going to lint roll it. We're going to do all the things that we need to do. So you're going to want to lint roll both sides. We're going to do 385 for 60 seconds, firm pressure. You want to know the why, because I'm going to do full bleed on this and we want to see how it presses, right? So there's a couple of things you can do. You can go in with these pillows because these guys are thick through here because of that zipper. I'm going to open up the zipper. You can go in here and then press it just to make sure, but you're going to really want to make sure this is pre-pressed nice and tight. And then what you can do too is look and make sure that this, if you could trim it back, you can, that's great. Sometimes it happens with any pillowcase. Okay. It's not just his, it's all of them. They get into that corner and it can be a little bit thicker of a spot. Keep that in mind. Now I am going to do this without a pressing pillow because we're living wild today. Okay. So I want to do this without a pressing pillow because some people don't have pressing pillows, and not having, it doesn't feel like it though. But thank you, Marvin. He says they're both the same. One just maybe because it's stiff. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Don't get there, buddy. Anyway, we're going to lint roll this. He says it's the same fabric, but they make a great set, which is true. So you pair the 16 by 16 with the 12 by 18. It makes a great set. Or like what I showed you guys in the group, I paired the two big pillowcases with the smaller one. Heck, you could do a 4 set in there. So let me give you a design idea. You remember how in the group that I did his, hers, and then I did the Larsons? Well, what you could do is go in and add maybe a wedding date to the 16 by 16. Maybe you want to add maybe their latitude and longitude of where they live, the year they were established, maybe something fun on there. You could do that as well. It makes a great set. All right, let me get back to where we can get to this camera right here. There we go. There we go. All right. So I keep this all messy before y'all come at me going, Nikki, yes, I do keep this very messy. And the reason is because it's going to get stuff on it while it's shoved in the drawer, and we don't want to do that. So I do want to make sure that we go in. Am I switched over? I am. Okay. Make sure we go in and we lint roll this before we pre-press it. We're not pre-pressing this just yet. You really want to make sure you get in here and you do the thing, chicken wing. The reason is because you're going to add heat. You don't want those little blue fibers. So if you don't want those little blue fibers, don't add the heat just yet. Okay. Because you really want to make sure you are lint rolling this very well. Okay. There we go. All the lint on the roll. Now we've done it. Then what you're going to want to do is you got to protect this investment. You're going to want to go in here with some butcher paper. Not the whole roll, Nick. Or maybe. Who are we to judge if I put the whole roll in here or not? Okay. So we are going to cut this down because while I am okay with using the whole roll, I don't need this large of a paper. There we go. So now this is a good opportunity, all right, for you to go in and really pre-press this down. There are some bulk in the corners. I will tell you that. And because we are going to be doing this as a full bleed, and I mean full bleed, I want to squish this. I can tell you that already. I want to squish this. But we're going to go in with the pre-press because there's a lot of bulk inside this zipper. I'm going to try to move the camera a little bit down so you can see better what I'm doing. You might not see me necessarily, which is, you know what? That's okay at the end of the day. You don't need to necessarily see me. Let me do that. Okay. I really want you to see what I'm doing. Let me make sure that that's facing where it needs to be because this is important. Perfect. Okay. Doesn't matter if you see me. I'm not the important part of this. All right. I have some butcher paper down. Butcher paper. Paper over the top. Why is that? We're protecting the investment. For those that are new here to Sassyland, we make what we call a sublimation burrito. we put, well, yes, there is Teflon on covering this foam pad. You want the Teflon in there to cover that foam pad. That protects the foam pad, one, if anything gets on it from getting on a repeat project, right? We don't want that. We put some butcher paper down at the bottom of that. Then we put our substrate. Right now, we're just pre-pressing, so we don't have an image on it just yet. But I do want to protect the top of it because you know what? Sometimes I'm lackadaisy and I forget to put the paper on. So, oh, that was tight. Okay, so we are going to give this a solid 20-second pre-press, okay? The reason for that is because there are those corners that there's bulk, naturally bulk inside the pillowcase in those corners, and because we're going to be doing a full bleed, which we really haven't done too many full bleeds on the pillowcases because they're much bigger than our presses or what we can print, right? So this is really new to us. Not that we can't, I mean, so many people have the Epson F570, and some people have the larger heat presses, but for the majority, we don't. Okay, so now you could do this one of two ways. You can spray, use a spray adhesive, or you can tape it down. Because a lot of people don't necessarily have the spray adhesive like what I have, we're just going to tape it. So we're going to do the Autumn Blessings. Give me a second. Line her up. I will tell you, I measured mine at 12.5 by 18.5. And pre-pressing this, I have a generous bleed, which is perfect. So if you're looking for the size that I am doing on this one, it is 12.5 by 18.5. Again, nice, generous bleed because it is fabric. And with fabric, sometimes, well, things aren't always the right size. We try, the manufacturers try, but you know what? Things in life happen. All right. Sometimes it's not always straight. We know that about our pillowcases. We know that about our towels, corners, all of the fun stuff. So now by pre-pressing it, I've managed to make this nice and firm. All right. In the corners, it's nice and tight there. So now I've squished the heck out of it. Right. So where I'm going to be worrisome is on this zipper line. What I'm going to do is increase the pressure because I've already pressed this. So I already know that it's nice and tight in here. But I'm going to want to go in and add a little bit more, just like a quick turn. Nothing crazy. Okay. All right. Crank.
Would you call that squish the heck out of me pressure, Nikki?
Yes, this is squish the heck out of me pressure because of those corners. I'm just afraid that it's not going to get in. We're going to find out. I'm just afraid that there's going to be just a little bit of a divot, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, and that's the center not being pressed because, again, I'm only doing this without the pillow because a lot of people don't have the pillow. How could you get around that? Well, you could always put a towel down, and that could help sink it in. If you don't, that's a great makeshift thing if you don't have that heat-resistant foam because a lot of people don't have it. So we're just kind of working with what people may have in their shops. All right, so we're back to being centered. That was almost catapult pressure. Jeff Fuller and Adam Fuller would have loved that one right now because I almost catapulted this across the room. You want to have nice firm pressure. Be careful, though, opening this up. We're just going to leave it as is. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it like as tight as I'm doing it right now. You can loosen it up. You just want it nice and tight. And again, because I want to make sure that it's going to get in to that center section. That's where I'm a little bit worried. But you know what? I could be completely wrong on this, and that's okay. I would rather be wrong that it's going to be just fine, but I do feel like it's bulkier near the zipper and on that bottom edge, and I really just want a nice, even pressure, again, because we're doing a full print, and because of that, we just want to make sure that it's doing what it needs to do. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. All right. Hello to everybody in the comment section. Hope you guys are doing wonderful this evening. All right. We've got about 4 more seconds left. And I got to have eaten my Cheerios today. Don't worry. We're going to slide her forward. All right. Moment of truth. Okay. Now, can you still see? Okay, perfect. I'm nervous. but I'm not sure why I'm nervous because she came out gorgeous. She's hot, but she came out gorgeous. Oh, ma'am. Hold on. I'm examining. I feel like I'm examining my prey here. Okay. You want to see? Look at this. So you might not want to use catapult pressure. You definitely just want to do a firm pressure. Absolutely want a firm pressure. I was worried about these corners. Nope. Those top corners did beautifully. I will say I had a little bit right by where the zipper is. I did have a little bit of modeling, but because of the design, I don't know. Maybe it's just the design. Hold on. Let me go look in the light. No, it's just the design. Oh, fun. That is fun. Sometimes I do things right. So there you go. Look at how gorgeous. We just did our first full bleed of a pillow that we all can do now, right? All of us. That is gorgeous. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the other side. So I'm doing fall on this side, and we're going to do Christmas, this guy on the back. Now, he's pretty easy. There's not a lot of bleed, but he is going to go the full length. So I won't have to do the squish the heck out of me. We're going to loosen that up a little bit. All right, let's see. Where do I want that? There we go. So again, this design isn't necessarily a full bleed. It's more the length than it is on the height of this. And that's okay. That's okay. I might cut off the star on this one. I may have just went a little too big. That's potato. We're going to get the star. I'd rather the star than the wheels, I think. We're just going to work with it, right? Just work with it. Measure your design. Make sure everything's going to fit and where it needs to go. Don't get overzealous like I did and get excited. Okay. Now, we're going to take this, put this over here, more butcher paper down here. Whoops. All right. You're going to watch me because I don't want to waste the paper. One over here. And that paper I cut off earlier. Look at that. Okay. So we're all here. We're going to loosen this up a little. There we go. It's not catapult pressure anymore. All right. So again, I'm going to want to do it at 3 to 5 for 60 seconds. The colors are absolutely beautiful. They're vibrant. And yes, it did soften up a little bit for me. They're just stiff when they come out of the bag. That's probably just what happens to it. It was just stiff coming out of the bag. It just felt very stiff to me. So if that happens to you, just know that it does loosen up with the heat. So now it feels just like the other ones, and it's just how it is. And that might be just, and that's okay. So if you feel like me, I'm very tactile, that it feels slightly different than the 16 by 16, it might be just because it's just stiff from being shipped and being packaged and in boxes and all of the things. Now that I have it on here, it is much softer to the hand feel. Thank you. I can't wait to do the next one. The next pillow is the peach skin bed pillows. He has them in queen and he has them in standard. The queen is 20 by, I think it's 31.5, and the standard is 20 by 27.5, I believe. Don't quote me on it. And honestly, if you're typically using, let me give you an explanation while I let this sit for 2 seconds. The peach skin have a softer feel, but they also have a heavier weight. So they're not going to be your thin mainstay. Like we're so used to using the mainstay pillowcases. This is luxury. Okay. This is like, feels like a higher thread count. It's thicker in material. So has a nice quality. It is that peach skin. So it is super soft. I'm excited to be able to have these in my bedroom. So there you go. All right, let's see what we got here. First, move that out of the way. Now, no discoloration because I did the bottom. Let me make sure. Did we get any schmutz? No schmutzies. Good. Okay. Oh! Look. Look at that. Look at that. Taking off the tape. Sorry. I'm in a mood. I'm in rare form, people. Rare form. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That red is popping. This is such a country farmhouse vibe, right? Such a vibe. Absolutely such a vibe. Let me just move it over. Can you all see that good? Hopefully you can. There we go. Look at that. Such a vibe right there. Gorgeous. Now, let me see if I turn on this light. Does this help any? I didn't want the light to wash me out, but you know what? I hate being in the dark over here. So there we go. There's that. And there's that. So the linen are an ivory color, like a cream color. They're not a stark white. I will show you. They are not a stark white color. I will tell you that much. So there is definitely a difference between the two, cream versus white. So there is that. Now, I am going to push this back. Ugh. She is big. Okay. I don't know which one I grabbed. Let's see which one I grabbed. I don't even know. They're not labeled. I don't know how Marvin knows which side is which because they're not labeled on the bag. So I don't know. I have to actually do a size comparison to find out which size is which. Hey, mister who has a label maker and a sticker machine, could you possibly put Q and S on the package? That would help a sister out. Just pointing it out there. Just saying. Okay. All right, we have. All right, so they're the same in width, but they're definitely, as you can see, different in the length of them. Okay, so yes, I have. Okay, so we're gonna lay this down. What are we gonna do? Lint roll. That's right, we gotta lint roll this. Lint roll both sides. I know I put it back in here. Where did I stick it? Where did I stick my lint roller? Well, I don't know where I put it. I stuck it back in this drawer, and now I don't know where it went. This is what I get for, oh, there it is. This is what I get for picking on people. That's called karma. Okay, so we're going to lint roll. Okay, lint roll. All right, backside. It's stuck under your seat. No, it wasn't stuck under my seat. It was stuck on the table. I put it on my rolly table that's next to me. I have the one that's like the nurse's station kind of tables that you can lower. And I love this darn table. Best thing I ever bought. Okay. So we have lint rolled. Lucky for me, I know where the center is. Oh, old.
Question about lint rolling, Nikki.
Yes.
When you do the peach skin,
yes,
is there a nap that you have to worry about, like with the velvet pillows?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, there's not such a nap that you would have to worry about it. Go in any direction and it'll be fine. It's not like it's a thick. It's just a texture. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to lay this out. I know where my center is because it's folded like that. Do you have to pre-press? Well, that's completely up to you. Okay. There's no bulk where I'm putting it. So do I have to pre-press it? No. Will I? Probably. Okay. Put my butcher paper because this is a great time. And this is why a lot of times you will pre-press. It's a great opportunity to check your pressure. Okay. So like that's your pressure. We like that still. And these are not even as thick as the linen ones, but yet this is still nice firm pressure. So I'm going to leave it where it is. This one, you don't have to pre-press as long. Ooh, and let me tell you, a little pre-press gets those wrinkles right out of that. All right, here's the oldie but a goodie. If you guys remember, when I started designing back in 2018, there was a trend going around for Christmas. Do you remember this? This was the Santa pillow hats. So what that would happen is it would look like when the child was, there we go. When the child was laying, it looks like they had a Santa hat on. It was such an in trend at the time. And so we're bringing it back, baby. We're bringing it back. All right. Fireball. Yeah, I went there. Okay. So I'm going to scoop booch it up to the top. Okay, because I am going to put her name on it, but I need to make sure I am right up there near the top. I am not going to have the room to put Charlotte's name in this particular pressing. I'm going to have to scoot it back and put some butcher paper over it just to protect it. So you're going to watch me double press this and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to just venture guess nothing. Okay, so here we go. It was such an in trend back then that I had several of those designs in my shop. I still have them there. I have the Santa hats. I have the princess crowns. I have the fireman, the police officer. Those were the in things on those pillows. What are some other things you could put on those pillows besides his, hers, some decorative stuff? Well, you could put their name on the casing, the edge of the casing here, or the case. You could put their name on there, right up against that edge. That's a great idea. You could also put a monogram in the center. Does it have to be full bleed? No. Can you do full bleed? If you want to piece it, sure, because most people do not have presses big enough to do these. But if you want to piece it, that is absolutely up to you. I like the idea of monograms, some fun things. Maybe you take a his and a her pillow and you put a heart, right? Some cute little things and sayings. You can find a ton of stuff and a ton of ideas on the good wide web as to what you can put on there. But again, for me, I'll probably use it for weddings. I'll probably use it for like the his and hers, Mr. and Mrs., all of the kind of stuff. All right. Gently pull this out. I will be reusing that, by the way. Don't come at me. Whoo! She is gorgeous. Okay, let's look at her. I mean, it even looks like glitter. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Do y'all see that? It looks just like glitter. It looks just like glitter. Back in the day, that was the thing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to flip this around. Oh, you know what? We were going to pre-press. We were going to press it again, see what happened. This was one of those things. You're right. I'm glad you said something. All right. So now I want to put her name under it. Her name is Charlotte. She happens to be my cousin's little one. And I believe Charlotte needs to have a Santa hat. It's sparkly. Okay. We're going to put Charlotte's name right up under that. All right. I am going to use that same butcher paper because I want to see how much it's going to off gas on this and if it's going to be a huge problem, right? And does it make it look faded? That's another thing because there are some people who are going to want to know this answer. So I'm about to help you with it. All right, let's drop it like it's hot because it is. So now we're going to let it run for 60 seconds. Now, will it off gas a little bit? More than likely, yes. It is red. It more than likely is going to have some red on that butcher paper. Okay, that's why we protect our investment. 1, 2. Typically, do you reuse butcher paper? Well, no. I mean, can you if you're putting it on another piece of paper? Maybe, but just throw it away, shred it if you can. You will notice that there's off-gassing on your paper. I'm doing this just to show you what happens when you don't protect your investment by putting butcher paper on it. We're also going to see if it fades any as well, because that's a good thing to know. Because maybe you want to pre-do these pillows for a vendor show, and you want to bring a small printer with you so that you can put names on them, whatever it may be, right? You could already have some already pre-done, and then just add the name at your vendor show. That's always a possibility as well. But what happens if you press it again? So that's what we're going to find out. All right. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So it did off gas, as it should have, because that's what happens. It's hard to see on the camera, but there is some red right here on there. It's going to be really hard to see, but there is the red hat. I can see that. And the green did bleed through this paper, because it is so green. It bled through here and went on the butcher paper. But what does it do? By having that butcher paper, it protected the investment, which is my heat press. But let's see what happened if it did any fading, because that's going to be our next thing. And no, it did not. So there you go. This is what it would look like. Okay. So it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll even show you. No fading. Look, Mom, no fading, right? So this is, look at that. That's big. Now you're going to say, Nikki, what about those lines if you don't have a pressing pillow? Well, what you could do, go in like we do with our towels. You could go in and use the velvet lint roller in here, right? Just give it a quick. You could also go in and repress it flat. Like you could go in, you could pull it. These have really no give on them. I will tell you, like, you know how it's no stretchability, and that's because it's pillowcase. Pillowcases are not supposed to typically stretch. So will you end up with that press mark? Yes, you absolutely can. That is definitely a thing. My only problem is if we go too light of the pressure, then you can run into, well, off-gassing issues. Can you use a pressing pillow? Yes, absolutely you can use a pressing pillow. Will that stop having the pressing marks? Not necessarily. Do you tear the paper? Some people do, some people don't. Really just depends on the person. I can tell you that I could probably go in and just repress it flat, put a piece of butcher paper on it, give it a quick pre-press. There you go. But you know what you're going to run in the risk is having pressing lines from your press like here and here. Again, it's one of those things you have to decide what works for you and your method, however it may be. I'm not going to let you know my method, because my method is my method and your method is your method. I could just say these are the different steps that you can take. Whatever works for you is definitely best. All right. So what have we done? We have done the peach skin. We brought back an oldie but a goodie. In this design, I am going to move the camera just slightly over so I don't feel like I'm leaning into this heat press. So this is the oldie but a goodie. This has been around for literally 6 years. It's one of those things where it's a great Christmas pillow type thing. Maybe for those Christmas Eve boxes. Maybe the elf can bring a new pillowcase for this season kind of thing. You know, whatever it may be, that will be a great thing to have. Then we did the faux linen pillowcases. Again, you do want to add a little bit of pressure to these because of these corners. It's just like the garden flags. Because there's those corners, those mitered corners, it adds some bulk to the corners. And there is definitely bulk right where this zipper is. Okay, there's no way of getting around it. Even if you brought it to the other end, there's no way of getting around it. It is what it is. Can you do a full bleed? Why, yes. Yes, you can. So there you go. That is what that full gorgeous bleed looks like. And then if you flip it over, I have Christmas. Now, can you get pillow forms? I'm pretty sure you can. You're just going to have to specialty order them, or you just stuff them with your cotton stuffing, whatever you want to do, or make your own. You could literally go in, take one of Marvin's pillowcases and make your own forms. You can go in and just get some inexpensive fabric, stuff it, and then put it inside here so it matches. But can you get a 12 by 18? I'm pretty sure you can. That is definitely something. Now, again, there is going to be that seam. Okay, there is that seam where you're going to end up with a line. So you're either going to have to love it or like it. It's love it or hate it. It's up to you, but it's going to happen. There's no really way of getting around that little tidbit of information. It's a seam. Okay. So if that bothers you, then maybe you need to do something more like this design. If it's not going to bother you, then do this design. Really, once you stuff it, you're really not going to see it too much. Do you have to put a design on the back if you put one on the front? No. You get to set the standard of whatever it is. There are a lot of pillows where there's a design on the front and nothing on the back. So again, do you have to? No, you do not. PillowFlex has 12 by 19 inserts that work great for this size. Thank you, Judy Leclerc. So pillowflex.com is where I get my normal size 16 by 16 and my 18 by 18 pillowcases. So they also have, from what Judy says, one of our members, is 12 by 19. Perfect size for this. Now you're saying, Nikki, these are 12 by 18. That's okay. You want it to be a little bit bigger. Your pillows, you want to be a little bit bigger so it stuffs it and makes it nice and full. If you got one that was only literally 12 by 18, well, it might not look as full. But if you like a nice full pillow, get the 12 by 19 and that will fill this out gorgeous. But honestly, 10 out of 10 recommend these. Again, pair these with a 16 by 16, make them into sets. Go even further at Christmas time, especially for those housewarming gifts, those newlyweds, newly engaged couples, whoever you want to give it, maybe 50th wedding anniversary, the his, the hers, the last name, and maybe their wedding date or where they live, whatever it may be. It's really up to you at the end of the day. You can even use them as a real estate gift that the real estate agent could then give their new buyers. Again, the possibilities are absolutely endless. They're not just for adults. You could also use these for kids. This is a great pillow size to bring to grandma's house. Yep. This could be a grandma's house pillow. They could stuff their pajamas in it. And this could be a great pillow to bring to grandma's house when they're doing those sleepovers. Same with these guys. This could be a great sleepover pillow for grandma's house with some pajamas and their clothes and just add a Velcro thing to it, maybe a strap. You guys can get fancy with it however you want. But these are just some of the different things that you can use them for. Camping is another one because, again, 12 by 18 is a great, what I call couch pillow. Couch pillow, right? I need a good couch pillow. Kind of still goes the length, not quite. Gives me a little bit of more room under the neck. I'm getting old. You know what that means. So there you go. That is that. Any other comments in the question? Another member, Cindy, says that Walmart has the 12 by 18 forms too. Good to know. Sorry, it's hot over here and I had a drink. So I apologize for that. So I already have 4 designs in my shop at the sassysummer.etsy.com. I have 2 fall to include this one. And I have 3 fall and 3 Christmas. I have a black and white Christmas one. I have this Christmas one, and I have a beach Christmas one with a flamingo and a Santa hat. So I have that one as well. If you would like more of these designs, please let me know. I'll let the designers know and they can get right on it too. So there you go. Let me hop over to the desk and we'll continue this chat. All right, so there you go. Those are the pillows from Driven by Graphics. Again, he also has the 16 by 16. He has pocket pillows over there. I'm trying to think of right off the top of my head. Let me go look. These are the different pillows. If you're looking for pillow options from Driven by Graphics, let me give you the quick lowdown. So he has the soft polyester pillow, which is a 16 by 16. He also has the peach skin queen, again, that is 20 by 31 by 0.5. And then he has the standard, which is 20 by 27.5. He has the linen 16 by 16. Love, my go-to. Absolutely love that one. He also has the new 12 by 18. He has, and that's in linen. He has the other linen, which has got the pocket on it, which is 16 by 16. He's got my snuggle pillow. Listen, he gets me a snuggle pillow in a 12 by 18. I will be sold for life. Sold for life. I know you guys don't understand, but if you ever felt the snuggle pillow, there's nothing better than a snuggle pillow. If we can get a snuggle pillow, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, in a 12 by 18, Marvin, we would be very happy. Okay. Anywho, the velvet pillow is 16 by 16, in case you didn't understand that. There's a canvas pillow cover, 16 by 16. He also has what they call the tooth fairy pillow. It can also be used as a ring bearer pillow, just so you know. That is 8x8. He does have a sampler pack that you can also go in. And don't forget the other things that he does carry over at Driven by Graphics, such things as the poly linen garden flags, the placemats, the tote bags. He has the table runners. He has the lunch totes. You guys saw my designs for the lunch totes? That's right. Did you know those lunch totes could be bingo bags? They could be a toddler sleepover night bag to grandma's house. They could be a quick grab and go infant diaper bag. Diaper bags don't have to be huge, and maybe mom just doesn't want to carry that big thing. Maybe she just needs to have an extra outfit, maybe, a bottle and a diaper. She's out of here, right? That's a nice grab and go. So it's not just a lunch tote. It could be 1,001 other things. It could be a crochet bag for the airplane. Again, there's lots of different things. Beach bag. I mean, the list goes on and on of what you can use that tote bag for. Think outside the box. Think of all the hobbyists that are out there and how you can add that lunch tote to their bags, to their stuff. He has the sublimation journals, as does Ashley. And he also has the 30x60 beach towels. He's got oven mitts, the ones with the rubber backing. He has those. We also have the Sherpa baby blankets, a must-have. They're gorgeous. They're luxury. That's a great upgrade to the regular baby blanket that he has. And then you pair that with the bib and a burp, and it makes a beautiful set. All right, so he does have all those. Make sure you guys head over to Driven by Graphics. So it's dbgsupplyco.com. He is a proud sponsor of the Sass and has been the OG since the beginning of time. So he is the sponsor of the Sass each and every time that I do it. So I thank Marvin for that. He is definitely the man, the myth, the legend. He not only sells blanks, but he is definitely the man to go to when it comes to helping you out with your printer. Not only does he sell the third-party inks for your Sawgrass, he also sells the Epson. That's right. He sells his Epson inks. Make sure you check all of that out. And you know what? You don't have to buy his inks to get support. He will absolutely help you. And if you are looking for Roland help, guess what? The man can help you. He is definitely something that you'll not find in the industry, no matter what group you go in. They don't have a Marvin. Well, except for Ashley. They don't have a Marvin like we have a Marvin, right? So Apparicium and Sassy Subber have Marvin. Not too many groups can say that, have that man. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Sass for September 19th. My name is Nikki Adamkowitz. I am known as the Sassy Subber around here. And until next time, I'll see you all real soon. You know where? On the flip side.